Well, here we go again. Connectivity Part 2. My last connectivity series introduced pedestrian friendly and gave a bad example of pedestrian friendly. That was the horses moving the kids out of the street in University of Maryland following their celebration on the street. So I'm going to change, add in some new ones. In that Jane Jacobs, in her book on cities, had a wonderful quote that is used by many of us in the planning business. It said, "The streets need to have eyes. More particularly, the sidewalks need to have eyes." And that doesn't mean cameras, it means people. People who are paying attention to what's going on. And what you need is people living there to have eyes. And that was one of the classic benefits of the plaza at Lake Anne. With all the people who lived on the plaza, that gave them eyes. And the idea of people in a community began with in Pasadena. When I was trying to do some work there, and they said, well, the work that you've done always has HUD money behind it. Yes? Correct. And with HUD money, you also have housing. And they didn't want housing. And so the same thing happened in Santa Monica. When they wanted to redo their downtown, they asked me to consider it, and I said, sure, be happy to. But they said, we don't want any of that housing because they didn't want people. And so I then looked at Denver, and they did what they call Laramie Street with a series of bars and activities places. And when I first saw it, I said, it's not going to work. They said, why? I said, no people. They said, what do you mean no people? I said, no bartenders, no waitresses, and nothing on the street. And so they tried it without people. And the next time I went to Denver, they had converted a lot of the old buildings into lofts, and now they got activity on the street. And so, in addition to showing how it didn't work, and it's not working in Maryland, it is working in Santa Monica, Pasadena, and Denver. Because, as Jane Jacobs said, the street needs eyeballs. That will be one of the things that will have to be done at town center in the future. Even though people live near the town center, they don't live in the town center. And the people living in those high rises, all they see is ants walking down the street or in the park. They need to be able to engage them in making sure that their department is good. So that's the other vision of connectivity. It's good connectivity, and making places that people feel safe because they know that they have people watching out for them, and and keeping them in view. The place has to have eyes. And so I know about eyes pretty well because I suffer with only one that sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. And so that will be one of the things that will be the theme for the road bumps that are still in rest in the future, and that's adding more eyes to the town center, and in fact adding more ownership to the town center. Expand it to be a place of the people, by the people, and for the people. That's connectivity too. Thank you again for your attention. Enjoy your day.